Here is my audience for the day. And here are my note cards. Let's see. Apologies for my handwriting. Okay. At the beginning of the semester, I did my passion presentation on learning. I am passionate about learning, and this is why. Today, I am advocating for making this class more relevant to middle school and high school instead of having it be a college course. Because back when I was in middle school and high school age, I was a bookworm who didn't talk to anybody whatsoever. I was the kid who sat at the front of the class, did all my work, but that was it. I read a book for any time I wasn't working, and it stunted me socially for the longest amount of time. And the extroverted self you guys see today is not because of all of those years I spent with that. It's because of a family that actually taught me this before I came to college, because they knew it would be relevant. Communication is the most important part of a society, as a species, because it is how we convey knowledge to each other and help us grow. It is, again, that ties back into why I am so passionate about learning. Because without communication, no one would be able to learn. And in communicating with anybody, you give them a part of yourself. You show them a bit of who you are so you can convey what you are talking about and how you talk about it or anything like that. And the reason this would be applicable for kids of middle school and high school, the current school curriculum is focused on what you're learning, not how to learn or how to talk about what you're learning so you can teach other people. Most of the things we learned in middle school and high school, we don't use anymore. No one cares anymore about what's in Catch the Rye. No one's using quadratic formulas in their everyday life. But what would be more important is for us to learn what we are using needs to be shown to other people, and what we do know and how we take our own approach to it can also be used to teach other people, because not everyone teaches the same way. No one learns the same way. Having young children learn how to convey their ideas, and heck, even being able to convey how they're feeling properly helps, because another thing, as I was a child, I had a bit of anger issues because I couldn't convey what I was talking about. This is a big problem in today's society. People don't know how to talk about what they're feeling or what they want to say, and they can't. Because what else are they to do? This class needs to be taught earlier. The psychology wiki I found online sums it up as, I'm not going to quote, I don't have the quote memorized, and frankly I'm not allowed to use it on this presentation. In summary, communication is the transformation of knowledge from one being to another. I'm summarizing it in as little of a plagiarization as possible, but that is the closest definition I can come to without using the actual definition. There is a little bit more to that. For example, not all information is conveyed via speech. There's also facial expressions and stuff like that. That also needs to be part of what's taught at school, because I'm sure you've all hated it, but your parents probably scolded you about your tongue. Mine certainly did. ABC News, I found an article talking about how communication stunts people. It's harder to form relationships if you can't tell people how you're feeling. As well as in the Brainstorm psychology blog I found, it talks about how the actual act of communication helps you develop it further. And being able to do so and practice it in an actual school setting and with other people who are also learning it can only better us as a society. Because if the next generation can communicate and in ways that everyone else understands, there's going to be less of an emotional gap that we're seeing today, as well as a better transfer of knowledge than also what we are seeing today. Then less arguments and more debates. And that is the end of my speech. Here are my go cards. Hopefully I remains in frame during all of that. Yep. I think I stayed in frame. I'm gonna... Thank you very much.